Hello. Oh, oh, there it is. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Okay, I let me see who was here first. Rodney Jackson. Thank you so much for being first. Okay, and Church Nellie is here. Lydia Washington, Judy Matasset, Leslie F. Let me see. Helen is here. Or, as Louise Jefferson would say, "Oh, hi, Helen. Hi, Helen. George, the Willises will be here any minute. George." Uh, I used to love to hear Louise Jefferson say, "Oh, hi, Helen. George. George, the Willises will be here any minute. George. Hi, Tom. Helen. Jenny." Talk about a little coffee in the voice, huh? When it comes to having a little coffee in their voice, that definitely describes Isabel Sanford. She had coffee, thumbtacks, boric acid. She had all manner of things in her voice. There's got to be a reason why she sounded the way she did. George, George. And anytime I would catch a bad cold, which, since the global pandemic, I don't think I've really had a cold, which is extraordinary. It's like I have the most robust health that you could imagine. But the thing is, I've been wearing my face mask and avoiding most human beings. And that was all it took to cure the common cold or the flu. Just keep wearing that face mask. Now, that being said, there was a couple of times when I thought, oh boy, I feel like I'm coming down with something. But it was nothing. And now I do think I had a reaction to getting, the prevention for the pandemic. I'm trying not to say the V word. Anyway, and I don't mean for JJ. Um, I had a sight reaction. My arm got all red, and um, I kind of felt really but within a day, I was fine. So that was the only time that I had one of those reactions to those. And I think I've had six of those by now, six maybe. So yeah, um, no regrets, no regrets. If nothing but peace of mind, I'm so glad that Pfizer and the other companies came up with something that we could use to at least feel secure. So thank you, Pfizer, and all the other companies. All right, so my slides are ready. I hope they're perfect. I say Pfizer just to get on people's nerves. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. I know that is pronounced with an F. Um, but I have fun with it. Joseph Berno, thank you for being here. Gwendolyn Daniels, Joyce Yvette Davids, thank you for being here. Uh, Why? What you got? Is there anything you can send me? Whee! Yes, if you got something you can send me, I'm here for it. Oh, let me see. Speaking of something you can send me, MR, thank you so much for the Cash App. All right, let me get my bell ready. One less bell to answer, one less egg to fry, one less man to pick up after. I should be happy. but all I do is cry. One less York to pick up after. Nice town, York. If you guys ever have a chance to go to York, England, it is one of the most beautiful, most idyllic towns in all of the country. I do recommend it. Whether it's the medieval wall or the old medieval town shops, it is gorgeous. Lisi D, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. You make my day, Baron. That is very sweet. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me take that away and get my slides up here. There you go. Royally unpopular. Spell check. Yes, royally unpopular. Royal family support that is drops 50%, below 50%. Prince Harry and Princess Meghan, most popular royals, and a few updates like it's someone's birthday. At least it was. Oh, let me see. Remind me in an hour to cut that oven off. Yes, please remind me in an hour to cut that other oven off. Susie Q, thank you for being here. Okay, so their popularity is on a downward spiral. But whose, do you ask? Well, that remains to be seen, right? But I'll put it to you like this. The American royals are their popularity has been climbing. Well, the the ones back in Narnia, they are not looking so good right now. And of course, Graham Smith of the what is the name of that group? I believe they're called um hmm what is the name of that group? Oh, Republic. Like my least favorite party here in the United States, the Republicans. Helene Groen, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let's get on with it, shall we? So, right here, meet the billionaires. And of course, they are living tax free. You have Charles, who just inherited the Duchy of Lancaster. And before that, he had the Duchy of Cornwall. Both of those duchies were created as a piggy bank for either the sovereign or for the crown prince, which of course is called the Prince of Wales. So, just so you know, in order to create a non existent link with the principality of the Wells, right? They decided that they would use the term, the name that is Prince of Wales, to make it seem like the Welsh prince would inevitably become the King of England. When the truth is, that appointment, that conferring that title, actually came from one of those kings, and the Welsh have been a bit resentful of it ever since. But not all of them. There are some Welsh. I mean, out of all of the realms, I believe Wales is the most loyal to the crown. Scotland, of course, not so much. Northern Ireland, only because they're feeling insecure. Uh, or should I say, only because the Catholics in Northern Ireland are feeling a bit insecure. And so they tend to throw their allegiance behind the crown, whereas the Protestant Irish in Northern Ireland tend to hope one day to unify with the greater Ireland, the Republic of Ireland itself. So, but yeah, Northern Ireland is not a republic. They are part of the United Kingdom. So anyway, that's enough of that history. But yeah, so that is where their money is in those. It's in the land. They are the landed gentry, and that money means that the uh, sovereign, as well as the crown prince, or the Prince of Wales does not have to go about with their hands stuck out, or even worse, find themselves, I guess, giving favors in exchange for bags of money from Folsom and Mason. Oh, wait a minute, that still happens though, doesn't it? I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you, I have a theory about that. I have a theory. My theory is, let's say if I was um, the Duke of Florence, I want to take this away from Narnia. Let's say I was the Duke of Florence. And as the Duke of Florence, which at one time was a city state, Florence, the Duke of Florence, even though I collected a lot of taxes from the citizens and all of the business interests of the Medici family, maybe that's not enough. Maybe I have people that work up under me as the Duke of Florence, right? And let's say I have uh, 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 Michelle uh, Forsyso. Yes, I had someone named Michelle Forsyso, or Michelle Forsyso, working up under me, right? A overbearing, overprivileged person that started working for me at age 19, doesn't have a college education, ended up using the N word on one of the staff people, and that staff person tried to sue me, the Duke of Florence, and couldn't get it. Are you guys with me on this, or do you understand what I'm saying? Well, anyway, I'm going a long way to say this, that maybe I want to give money to Michelle Forsyso that works for me, but I don't want that money to come from the books that are kept for my city of Florence. And so I end up getting bags of money, so that when I have to pay money to people that keep my secrets, even though those bags of money, I mean, even though I have plenty of money, but yeah, I accept bags of money from people in the Middle East who want to become citizens of Florence, right? And they want to have an honor or a title from Florence. Maybe that's why, even though I'm a billionaire, I still need those bags of money, so that if I'm doling out money to my aides or courtiers, then it's untraceable. You know what I mean? Okay, I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. So that's what I'm saying, is that even though I'm a billionaire Duke of Florence and I don't even pay tax, I collect tax, and I get money from people that die when they don't have next to kin. I don't even look for extended family. I just spend the money. But that money is traceable. But if I have other people that I want to give money to off the record, then I accept bags of cash from those people that want to be citizens of Florence. And those, thank you, Carlene Beckford, no paper trail. And so those people that want to be citizens of Florence, and they want titles in Florence, or maybe even become part of the whatever their legislative body was at the time, um, I would accept that money and give them those titles, and nobody would know where it came from or where it has gone to, and how anybody would ever know about it. I don't know, but yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. But I just don't want to say it the way it should have been said. Excuse me. Let me take a drink of water. Okay, so support for the monarchy drops below 50% for the first time ever. For the first time ever. Not even back in 1992, a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. Even back in 1992, when the Queen's world was falling apart, that they suffered from such low poll ratings. But fast forward to 2024, and things couldn't be worse. It could not be worse. And of course, you know who they're going to blame for it. I've actually seen an article that showed people being blamed. Well, actually, showed those people smiling as though they were pleased with their work, even though their work is 5,000 miles away. As what? You know what? I'll tell you what, executive producers. Those people that they're trying to, they're going to try to blame them. Those people are executive producers. They ain't got time to be thinking about what's going on back in Narnia. Narnia, Salt Island, those are the people that won't let them go, that will not stop throwing their name into everything without prove. Actually, they're the ones that keep proving how relevant and how important that they are by bringing them up constantly. So, just saying a certain tampon needs housekeeping money to settle under the table disputes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Untraceable, unmarked, cash that can be doled out among staff people, aides, friends, etc. Um, that's what I'm trying to say. Even though I'm a billionaire, Duke of Florence, I still need that money, and I'm going to get it one shopping bag at a time. So, a new poll today has shown a seismic shift in opinions toward the monarchy amid new allegations of that type of stuff that they said. And Republic is all over like a cheap suit. Oh, they are pleased with themselves. Of course, Republic is that group that wants to replace the monarchy with an elected head of state, a movement which seems to be growing in popularity. I'm wondering how in the world are they going to um, what do you call it? Walk about and spin. Yeah, I wonder how they're going to spin their way out of this. Spinning, as in a spin doctor. Wonder how they're going to get out of this spot of bother, because it is grating on people's nerves. I wish I could show you the video where those people were outside of Buckingham Palace. Now, I'm thinking the video is new. It may actually be older. I cannot really put a date on when that video was filmed. It could have been a while ago, but either it happened recently or perhaps it was after someone paid 12 million pounds to somebody they never met for something they definitely did not do. So we'll see how it goes. Now, right here, for the first time, support for the monarchy in Britain has dropped below 50% with now at 48%. This represents a drop of almost 30 points in the last decade. We've been told for years that because the monarchy has majority support from the British public, it has a popular mandate. This is no longer the case. Simultaneously, support for an elected head of state is holding steady at around a third. I repeat, at a third. Is simple. Support for the monarchy is collapsing. Britain will have an elected head of state sooner rather than later. And that was something that Republic has tweeted out. As a matter of fact, they tweeted out each of these paragraphs separately, I suppose, so people might share them on their social media account. Far be it from me to do that. But yeah, so that people might share it. Now, do I have a vested interest in seeing the eventual decline of the House of Windsor? All I want is for them to leave the Sussexes alone. That's all I care about. Whether the House of Windsor survives or not means nothing to me. I don't think it changes the popularity of the royal brand. That brand would still exist, but in past tense. You will have a collection of stories, more costume dramas and docu-series and such right up until the end. And even beyond that, I think that would continue. So I don't think directly it will affect the economy of the royal family's popularity. But let's face it, the royal family is still the most well known royal household in the world. You There was a time where if you said the queen, you meant Lizzie, you meant Lilibet. Everybody knows that you meant Queen Elizabeth II, right? There was no other queen to the greater population of the world. Now, in individual countries that have a monarchy, well, okay, yes, then people would know that you meant the queen of that country in all likelihood. But to the rest of the world, especially the English speaking world, most people just assumed that you meant QE2. In the music world, people would have thought you meant Aretha Franklin. Now, of course, people are thinking that you mean Beyonce. Um, and that's just the way it is. It depends on the group and the setting. But to the greater public, excuse me, in the English speaking world, Queen Elizabeth II was the queen and had been for a long time. So that is part of their brand. And unfortunately for the institution today, what's left of that brand is in a crypt at the St. George Chapel. What we have existing now, um, okay, let me try to see if I can qualify it by saying it this way. After 70 years, people struggle to say exactly what the Queen has done for anybody, right? For 70 years, there was very little information about the Queen's contribution to humanity other than she met every president except for, I don't know, two or one or two in her lifetime, and that means while they were in the Oval Office. She may have very well have met them before, but as a sworn in president of the United States, I think there was only one or two that she didn't meet. Okay? So that is supposed to be impressive. The other is 70-year reign. And then, of course, you can have people say, well, she was a mechanic during the war. Okay. The queen was, what else? Oh, she was 25 when she took the throne. She didn't expect that she was going to be queen. But when her uncle abdicated, then, of course, she rose to the occasion. And she's had all those prime ministers that she survived and such. So, okay, that's what you have to say about her. But let's try to find something that is exceptional, that is not attached to living to age 96. I'm trying to find something else. There wasn't anything else. So, if that's the case for the Queen, then what do you think they're going to say about Kate? How will history uh, regard Kate, especially if she that's okay, that's assuming that she survives marriage wise to become queen, and of course the whether or not she's, when she leaves that position, whether it's, you know divorce, widowed, or whatever, will she have some type of recognition for being exceptional? I say not. I say not. She will be quickly forgotten about. William Droid, you mean the crown propaganda didn't work after Camilla neighed directly into the writer's ear and the palace approved script? Uh, let me see. Kill surprise. Yeah, Q surprise. I'm sorry, quell surprise. You know, yes, yes, yes. And Camilla will. I've just learned something that I didn't think was possible, but unfortunately, the tragedy of Diana's uh, mysterious and unexplained accident in that tunnel in Paris, or let's say John F. Kennedy um, in that car in Dallas, that made them some very memorable people, right? And especially in John F. Kennedy's case, he was so young and so brilliant. And, he was one of those people you can quote his speeches. There's a lot of people that you really can't, like, yeah, there's just a lot of people you don't really have a thing to quote because nothing that they've said has been so memorable, right? But John F. Kennedy was quite memorable, and he was the president who said we're going to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. So even if he didn't die tragically, I think he would still go down in history as quite memorable. Um, Even Franklin Roosevelt was quite memorable. But considering that, what would be memorable about Kate? Not much, because people barely mention a queen. I'm amazed at how little people seem to miss or even discuss or care that the Queen was ever there. 70 years, and there's not much to say. I still cannot wrap my brain around that. You would have thought that it would have been the tragedy of a lifetime because most people have never known anybody else. I don't think there was a living person who had ever known anybody else, save for just maybe 10% of the population or something like that. But otherwise, who remembers any other person on that throne? Very few people. Well, and for all of that time, there's not much said. If it wasn't for The Crown and the movie The Queen, there wouldn't even be anything about her. That is like the only thing that's going to keep the Queen's memory um, alive or available for generations to come is that series. And who knows, in about 5 years, maybe nobody will care about that, or maybe somebody will come up with the truth, the absolute truth about the House of Windsor that will be so compelling that won't be a love letter to the Queen, but something that will explain that family in detail. Maybe somebody will take the option and go ahead and make a movie based on the book Spare, and maybe a few other references to the history as it should be written. And maybe people will feel differently about it. I mean, after all, um, that was like the close. I mean, the Queen literally shut down the British Empire. She was there to watch the empire shrink. So maybe somebody will have something else to say. I mean, she was queen while Mountbatten was doing his thing, right? And so on. So maybe in the future, things won't be so polite. Yeah, things won't be so sugar coated. But thank you, YM Droid. Thank you so much for your super chat. Okay, let's move on. So, right here is a cartoon which shows the Duke of York hiding in his brother's crown. I mean, you can tell that that's Charles the Third because you can see those ears sticking out. Hey, I just caught that out the corner of my eye. You stopped stealing my thunder. I thought I was the one who talked about that. but since you brought it up, I have no other choice but to make sure that everybody knows exactly what you're talking about. So let me see if I can find that. Let me see. uh Let me see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ha! There we go. Yeah, so I wasn't going to bring it up, but since someone has, and you know, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it, especially when I'm not even sure what remiss means. But forging of a princess, how generations of steely social climbing matriarchs shaped Kate Middleton's character. In other words, she used to work on a yacht. And of course, the corporate clients loved her, especially the way she always seemed to be showing off her slender legs, tight blue shorts, and let me see, as she served gin and tonics and lunch. She worked as a deckhand on a 72-foot sailing boat in the Solent. What is the Solent? I keep saying that. I don't know what it is. Looking after important clients from mighty companies such as Barclays, BT, Nokia, Toshiba, and Volkswagen. The year was 2001, and everyone referred to the tall, slim girl earning 40 pounds a day as beautiful Kate. Well, you know what they say, a thing of beauty is a joy until sunrise. A joy until sunrise? Okay. Well, anyway, that's what we're referring to. So I didn't want to leave people hanging, so that's why I brought it up. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have mentioned it at all. Okay, so right here, breaking news. You know that the National, which is a newspaper in Scotland, you know they were going to do the most about that information. The National is a newspaper in Scotland that doesn't seem to cotton too well with that royal family. So anytime something like that comes up, they jump on it immediately. So right here, it says support for the monarchy falls below 50% for the first time. Campaign group Republic commissioned a poll by Savanta on the royal family under the reign of King Charles, who was crowned last year. It found that the monarchy is rapidly losing support, with fewer than half in all age groups under the age of 55. Under the age of 55, preferred the royals to an elected head of state. When asked if they would prefer the monarchy or an elected head of state, just 48% said they would prefer the royals. Meanwhile, a third, 32%, said they would like an elected head of state, with a large swathe of don't knows, which means that they, you know, aren't necessarily in favor of the royals. Republic CEO Grant Smith said the result shows the UK desperately needed to discuss the future of the royal family and the country's head of state, particularly in light of Prince Andrew's recently being mentioned in those files. So, okay, understanding 48% says yes. So that other part of that number, the don't knows, in the US we call those swing voters, right? The swing voters, which means they can go either way. But this is not an election or a campaign, although they are campaigning for the future of that family and the institution. But you could consider those swing voters. So a swing vote means that they're not really partial to one or the other. And let's say if there's a percentage point where the 48 could actually be 45, then that's a little bit too close for comfort in terms of we are not as popular as we should be or could be. So the monarchy is suffering from a calamitous loss of support, yet 1 in 5 aren't yet sure about the alternative, We desperately need a better informed, more robust, and higher profile debate about what it means to abolish the monarchy. Smith added that the same poll carried out in November last year showed that 52% of the public supported the monarchy. In just 6 weeks, they've dropped 4 points, he added. The monarchy relies upon fake mandate built by polling numbers, yet that argument no longer stands up. Andrew is clearly done significant damage to the monarchy, but Charles is the one responsible. He has been behind decisions on how to mismanage the scandal and how to respond to Harry and Meghan. This is the result. The monarchy is on borrowed time. Britain will be a republic. Britain will be a republic, says Graham Smith. One of these days, they're going to be a republic. So I may need to go and cut that oven off because I actually started it about a half hour before I came on. Let me think about that. I'm not going to tell you what I'm cooking, but it was something I thought out. And if I didn't cook it, it may have gone bad, so I needed to go ahead and throw it in the oven. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here on Royal Sussex. Oh, yes, and happy Tuesday to you. Monday for us, but Tuesday to you. Thank you for staying up with us. Let me see. In 10 years, they'll be lucky if they get 30% since all those old conservatives will have kicked the bucket. Thank you, my joyous, what is that, cackling? Thank you for reminding us about the demographics. Yes, it is the baby boomers that are the most loyal to the crown. But then after that, support declines rapidly. So, yeah, they're going down, you guys. They're going down. And it didn't have to be this way. And the person that is responsible is Charles, because even if there was no scandal with the Duke of York, Charles and his emotional support, Camilla, they are scandalous. They are scandalous. They are a walking, talking, living, breathing entity. They're scandalous. And a lot of people have lost respect for that institution because of them. There's a lot of people that have lost respect. And I am of the firm belief that in certain cases, when you lose respect, you're just not going to get it back. You're just not going to get it back. I don't care what kind of song and dance you do. Once that respect is lost, it ain't coming back. It's not yours to keep. So they're in a bad way. They are definitely in a bad way. Let me see here. Is my microphone okay? Let me see here. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for your comment. Microphone, yes, it is good. I just had to take a look at that. Okay. Can I do? Oh, Lisa D, thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh, you know what? I just secretly walked away from my bell because I had to check on the oven. And I think I'm going to give it another 15 minutes. It said 400 for like 55 minutes. But, since I'm not on the big computer right now, I can do stuff like walk away and multitask. Okay. Uh-uh. I got it smelling good up in here. I got it smelling good up in here. Okay. Oh, Anna Boyd, thank you so much for the super sticker. Okay. TB says, I wonder if Andrew will sacrifice himself for the sake of the crown. I doubt it. If you mean to um, disappear into obscurity, I think he should. It's so selfish of him to try to claw his way back into relevancy. That is so selfish of him. You and the company you keep have caused so much trouble for the institution and embarrassment for the country. And even if you have done absolutely nothing, it is because of your choice of friendship that the eyes of the world is looking at the United Kingdom as as being incredibly misguided right now. I mean, it was bad enough with the Brexit, right? It was bad enough with the first known biracial member of the family being treated abominably, right? And then, of course, there's that situation. And let me see, what is the other stuff? Well, even Fergie, whatever you think of Fergie, Fergie married into that family, and given the high maintenance personality that she has, Fergie is very impulsive. Not really the kind of person that should be left alone for months at a time. And then also Diana, who was very young and impressionable and received the type of media. I don't know that there's ever been that kind of scrutiny on anybody before Diana. I don't think so. I don't think so because with the computer age, people were able to gather information, to forward photos, and everything was much faster. Um, everything was computerized. So, uh, so I don't think anybody has ever been through that kind of scrutiny before Diana. And then with Meghan, you could really, the length of time has not been as long, but there's something else. There's the racial component, which makes it not just um, a bad thing, but it's even worse because I mean it's a matter of hate. I don't think people hated Diana, right? I don't think anybody was encouraged to hate Diana. They may not have liked her. They may have sided with the crown no matter what. But I don't think that there was a hate for Diana. But this is a hate campaign. This is a hate campaign. This is something completely different. Diana was considered to be more English than the Queen, than anybody else in the royal family because of her lineage. But Meghan, the American, the actress, I think there was even issues with her age. And then, of course, her race, her race. Being of African ancestry, that that just was never going to go down well with some people, and they were plotting against her from the start. So when you consider that, how long does it take to bake a potato? Huh? Okay, I'm going to give it another 15 minutes. But that's not the main thing I'm cooking. There's something else. I know y'all about tired of me in this oven. But It had to be done because I don't like throwing food away. I just can't stand it, especially at these prices. So I had to cook it. You thaw it, you cook it. You break it, you bought it. It's that kind of thing. So I am moving the show to the kitchen. Uh-oh, let me go get my bell. Hold on. Clang, clang, clang goes the trolley. Ding, ding, ding goes the bell. Ah, okay. Mystic, wait a minute. Mystic Toxin, thank you so much for being here. What an honor. Thank you so much. Uh, you know, I wonder why we didn't really think about that at the time. At least I didn't. I was so caught up in the fairy tale of it, Lacey D. Didn't think about it at the time, but now I'm just like, ooh. Wait, where's the microphone? Yeah, now I'm like, ooh. Oh, the microphone was muted, huh? Okay, but yeah, I didn't think about it at the time, but now I'm just like, ooh, that doesn't seem proper. Oh, you've been watching the later times? Been busy, so I've been. Oh, well, thank you so much. Either way, I'm glad to know that you're here now, and I appreciate you watching the other times. Let me see, Baron. Cut off the potato. Wait a minute. Cut the potatoes down the middle. It should take 3 minutes. Ooh. I'm cooking sweet potatoes. Now, I did stab it with a fork to let some of that pressure out of it. Well, you really gave me some good advice because then that's an excuse to put some butter down the center of it, right? Oh, we're expecting a big snowstorm. I went to the grocery store and I mean to tell you, Lottie Dottie and everybody was there. Yes, that store was packed. Listen, if you all live in the Midwest, you better get up off that thing and go shopping because we are going to get hit. We are going to take a hit. In some places, they're expecting anywhere from 8 to 10 inches. And it could be some icy rain given the temperature. You know what? I had moved and I had the microphone behind the computer. Okay, so wait a minute. Why is that like that? So take a look here. I don't care about labor. I don't care about Tory. I just want to survive. This emotional caller says he's going to freeze to death in his own home and wants help and just wants help. Now, you guys, I have to warn you. Wait a minute. Where's Susie Q? That's who I'm really worried about right now. Now, I'm going to play this sound bite, and I believe it is from December the 7th. Maybe some of you all have heard it already, but it is heartbreaking. This man poured his heart out on the LBC radio. He poured his heart out. And okay, let me make sure that you all can hear. Wait, let me put that back. Okay, sound is good. Okay. He poured his heart out. So let me get the sound up for you. And we'll talk about it on the other side. I think it's about 3 minutes long, but it is heartbreaking.
Bear with me for one moment. Basically, 9 days ago, I came down with the flu here, with the winter flu, okay? And this is irrelevant to what you're talking, but to me, it's very relevant right now. Okay, I came down with the flu, trying to get help from the doctors, trying to get antibiotics to stop the infection was a nightmare. I've been on my own for 9 days. I'm in my home. I'm freezing cold. I'm distressed. I have nobody knocking at my front door. I have nobody checking in on me. I turn to charity, the local charity here, the food bank, for help, and my local council. Everything is a closed door. And this is so irrelevant to me. What's relevant to me and many, many other people that are listening, I'm sure, in today's environment is how we're going to survive. I don't care about Labour. I don't care about Conservative. I care about my own survival. And I feel like I've been on my own for 9 days. There's no one to turn to.
Philip,
And
here
we are arguing about Conservative Party, Labour Party. I don't give a damn about these people anymore. I don't care about.
You just want some help.
Politics.
You just want someone who gets it. You just want an open door.
Politics is opened up into our charities. They're being run by our local governments here.
Mm.
I asked them if they would take a phone order over the phone for me so I could get some food in my house. And I was told blatantly, no, you need to come to the charity. I said, I can't come. I can't even open my eyes. They're swollen.
And you're sitting in the cold, Philip, because you don't want to pay the bills. You can't. The bills are too high.
I'm going to freeze to death in my own home.
Oh, God. What?
This is happening. This is just not me. I'm not a victim.
Well, you're not alone, Philip. You're not. You are not alone. You are talking about issues that so many people are dealing with. I mean, let's forget who you're going to vote for. We need to work out how we're going to get you some help.
Me and many others.
I know. We will.
I have nobody. I've spent the past 3 weeks helping my elderly neighbours. They're all elderly.
Okay, and now it's time for someone to help you, Philip, isn't it?
No one here for me. Nobody. Not even my council.
What's your local council, Philip?
Mid-Devon District Council.
Mid-Devon. Okay. We're going to get on to Mid-Devon District Council. Will you stay on the phone after I let you go? Give us your contact details, and I am going to personally get on the phone to Mid-Devon District Council tomorrow morning and get them to do whatever they can to help you. Philip, you've been helping others. It's time now for people, the state, the people who are there to help you, to do their job and to give you the help that you need, okay?
I'm going to freeze to death in my home with my dog.
Pardon?
I'm going to freeze to death in my home.
Philip, we're not going to let that happen, okay? We're going to get onto your local council and we are going to do what we can to get you the help that you need. Is that okay? Would you let us try and help you with that?
Please, somebody. Yeah? Somebody.
Philip, are you happy to give us your contact details when we come off air?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And we're going to get onto your council and we are going to do what we can to get you the help that you don't just need, but that you deserve, okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And will you keep in touch with me and let me know how you are and how things are going? Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you. Philip, thank you for calling in. You're not alone with this. We're going to do what we can to help you. And I'm going to keep in touch with you, okay? Off air.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
Okay. So there you go. Again, I know that it is gut-wrenching, but that is the state of things. And to realize that there are people that are living these lavish lifestyles, right? At the taxpayer's expense. This is not just a head of state. There's a redundancy there because they also have a prime minister. You have someone to take all of the political pain of making decisions, the political responsibility of making decisions. And for some reason, you have one person who gets everything political, good and bad, And then the other person is supposed to be above politics. But while you have people that are hungry, that are isolated, afraid, freezing, um, people that are sleeping rough, if you will, it just doesn't make sense in a modern age, in a democratic country, that you have that type of privilege for a family that is enjoying all of the privileges of feudalism, right? While the serfs go out and work the land, so to speak. And this man is all of us. He's all of us because we have all, as older people, had that thought about what if we don't make it, right? What if I don't survive this? Who's going to be there for me? At some point in life, you either have gone through that or you will experience that. Hopefully, that's an exception more than a rule, but um, I think that at one time or another, we've all experienced that vulnerability. And this man is saying, listen, I am here for my neighbors. I have, I'm a citizen and I'm in need, and there's nobody here for me. Now, I do believe that they were able to get in touch with him and they were able to get help for him. I do believe that they reached out to him. I saw another part of the story that, that they have reached out to this person. Obviously, after all of that, somebody had to do something. And so they did. But like he said, it's not just me. We're all suffering. He's not even concerned only for himself, but he's also very concerned for his neighbors. He wants help for his neighbors, the neighbors that he has helped to care for. And there's a lot of communities where people are helping each other, but it is supposed to be the state that provides that help. It should start with the state. Yes, it's always good for the community to do things for themselves. But if the state is not going to help, then why are we paying taxes? Not only do we want equal protection under the law, but we also want welfare. We want social programs. That is part of society. Just like the red states that would not survive without the blue states. That's part of the deal. If you are born in this country, no matter what state you live in, then if if the red states are more prosperous, they will carry the weight of the blue. If the blue states are more prosperous, they will carry the weight of the red. And it's the same with the society as a whole. If you, the taxpayer, are able to survive and thrive, if you will, and your neighbor cannot, in some way, form, or fashion, you're obliged to help your neighbor. You don't have to do it directly. The state will do it, or the state should do it. So the man is only asking for what he deserves as a citizen of that country. But these conservative governments have convinced us that we're asking for a handout, not a hand up, a handout. But that's not true. If you are a citizen of that country, then you deserve the help. When people took off during the pandemic and they were getting all that money from the government, do not be ashamed and do not be embarrassed, because for every dollar that the common citizen received, just imagine how much money, how much of that PPE money and all that other money that benefited people who could well afford certain things in this world that you may not be able to afford and may never afford. But the rich got richer, not just in the UK, but all over. I don't know any country, any Western industrialized country, where the pandemic did not benefit the wealthiest among society. So don't you dare be embarrassed for taking any money from the government. I'm so tired of hearing that song and dance about I don't want the welfare. You better. You better. How do you think those people in Congress got so rich? They got rich off your money. How do people go into the United States Senate a pauper and come out billionaires? I found out that what's her name, the senator of California that just died. I found out she had a private jet, multiple properties, and yet she couldn't wait to get back to that Senate. That does not add up. What is it about that Senate that you need so bad? Because when a politician comes up, everybody in the family comes up. Your kids get a job on the board of directors, right? Your kids go to the best schools. Everything is better for your family and your friends. So when someone is afraid to accept food subsidies because they don't like the way it looked, give it to me. Dianne Feinstein, right. Give it to me. You don't want that subsidy from the government? Or give it to somebody. Accept it and pass it on. Because I promise you, the wealthy have gotten wealthier the same way they always have. They can qualify for tax breaks, tax subsidies, and all kinds of things that you couldn't even dream of. That's how they get ahead. Don't be stupid. If it's available, take it. Take it. Okay, let me see. We the taxpayers pay for welfare, so hell yes, I am going to take that money. Absolutely, Rohini. Absolutely. That pool of money that goes into the state is so vast that it more than carries those in the government, but they end up spending money on all kind of nonsense they don't need, furnishing offices and such, giving contracts to their relatives and friends. So if there is some money available, take it. Don't be too proud. I bet you Dick Cheney wasn't proud. Let me tell you something. What's his name? Donald Rumsfeld was the youngest defense secretary in the history of the United States. He was the youngest. And I think that was under President Ford or under President Nixon or something like that. I think it was President Ford. He was the youngest defense minister, defense secretary we ever had. So after he left the Department of Defense, this is a man I don't think ever been in uniform before. He goes and builds his fortune as a lobbyist, defense contracts, and representing the military industrial complex, right? Let's fast forward to George Bush, not the father, but the son. Let's forward to George Bush. Guess who was the oldest defense secretary in the history of the United States? Donald Rumsfeld. So when he left the White House, he went into the private sector and built a fortune with taxpayer money, right? And then as the older defense secretary, he goes back to the White House and he helps to enrich everybody he's ever known who he could help give a hand up, a handout, gift, contract, and everything else. Now, if that is not taking welfare, I don't know what is. That is taking government money. That is how he enriched himself. That man's family is set. Do you hear me? They are set. And that revolving door in and out of government is something that happens all the time. And if they change the rule and say, okay, well, if you do this, you can't do that for 5 years or whatever, sometimes they'll quit before that law goes into effect so they can hurry up and go and work as a lobbyist. There's all these things that's going on with these governments, and they don't call it corruption. Not in the democratic society. It's not corruption. It's just business. It's just the way they govern. So whatever you want to call it, some people are getting over and some people are getting hungry. Remember that. Lacey D, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you again for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. But yeah, don't be too proud to accept anything from the government. They owe you. They owe you. I couldn't stand Rummy. He's so darn evil. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And you know exactly what I'm speaking of. And you know what I say is true. That man has made his life fortune from the United States government as a government employee and as a private citizen representing contractors and such. He's always gotten that money from the government. That's where the money is plentiful, with those $200 toilet seats that you can get from the Home Depot for $10. That kind of stuff. Let me see, Baron. The LBC caller was actually helped by an MP from a different district who heard the call live and got the man food and paid to turn on his electricity. Good. Yeah. That, you know what? I hate to have thrown something so emotional out there, but it was necessary. If that guy can suffer through something like that, then we could all take time to listen to his pain. And I knew that he had gotten help some kind of way, but I just didn't include that. But thank you so much, Leslie F. Where's Susie Q? Susie Q, you okay? I gotta find Susie Q. Okay. Well, maybe she's not listening right now. Okay, let me continue. So, Prince William and Princess Kate desperate to evict Prince Andrew from Royal Lodge. So this is not the first time we've heard this, right? Exclusive. A source tells the Daily Express that the Prince and Princess of Wales have been hovering around Royal Lodge for quite some time, as Adelaide Cottage is too small for their family. Too small for their family? They got 4 homes. They got Admiral Hall. They have a place in on the Balmoral estate, I think it is. They have the largest apartment at Kensington Palace. And as we've mentioned, Adelaide Cottage is not so small. It is not all that small. I wonder how many other people manage that. When they need to do things, they can go over to Windsor Castle and they can go there for, whatever type of official business they need to do with the approval of the sovereign, of course. They also can spread out over there when necessary. And when they're in between properties, we all know how they get from point A to point B. Traffic is not a thing for them. But they have been wanting Royal Lodge. And who wouldn't? Royal Lodge is a fabulous property. So if William and Kate are calculating right now, they have probably figured out if Charles lives another functional 15 to 20 years, right? If he's a right mind for that long or even longer, then that's how much longer it will be before they can take over Windsor Castle and whatever other, properties they want. But in the meantime, what does anybody with power want? More power. So they just want more. They want more. And honestly, who's to say that Royal Lodge is not going to be cleared out so that the Middletons can't move into it? If they have to come up with some kind of reason why they need that extra added security, I would not put that over them. If they are maintaining a home for Camilla, Charles is maintaining a home for Camilla, then billionaire prince and billionaire sovereign someday, William, will be able to afford the upkeep and the rental on the Royal Lodge for Kate's parents. I believe that's where they're going to retire to. They're going to end up in Royal Lodge, and that is if they live longer than Charles. They're gonna end up in Royal Lodge because Kate's father, I think he's 10 years older than her mother. Um, but I promise you, they're gonna end up at a royal property. I can assure you of that. Under the guise of they want to be closer to their grandchildren. That will be the thing. So it all hinges on how long Charles lives and how long he's of sound mind. So, but right now, Charles is busy putting together a financial future for Camilla and her family. That is what I see coming down the pike. Let me see. Can't really insert those Middletons too much because right now the Parker Bowles family takes precedent. So yeah, right now they can't really do much maneuvering where those middle bums are concerned. But one of these days, trust and believe they are going to really take advantage of that role. They're going to take advantage of it. As long as they don't fall out with William. As long as they don't fall out with William, they're good. Okay, YM Droid, I hear what you're saying. So again, I don't know how I did that. That's supposed, well, anyway, you can see it kind of jumped over a bit, but um their oh well, maybe their unpopularity is off the charts. But yeah, that red square is supposed to be around the gray thing there, the gray, but it moved. Either that or their unpopularity is off the charts. And of course, there are two Britons. There is the very privileged aristocrats, the landed gentry, those people who really don't have to work for a living. But there are some who have those estates that are so expensive to operate that they've had to, you know, increasingly find things to do, like weddings and such, mystery tours, and um, what else? Farms, or not farms, but the well, they have that too. But they have the menagerie. They have the like I think Longleat has a zoo, right? Longleat has wild game and such. So they had to get creative to maintain those households. And of course, the National was very quick to jump on this story. Scottish writer Billy Kay tweeted, that is, what know ye the dry book, right? Another Twitter user said, how do they not realize how offensive and insensitive this is? Multimillionaires funded by the public visiting food banks is obscene. I believe that's another thing that is going to hurt that family in the long run is these poverty tours. One person that is such a shock and surprise, a flipping camera crew were there. This country is so broken. The future king exploiting the poverty of peasants for a photo op. And they arrive empty handed. If that's not vulgar enough, they show up empty handed.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's that's more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's that's more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So,
But I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals? Or as like
I love the Queen.
Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, yeah, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrities.
For me, is brilliant.
I love the Queen.
No,
for duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard,
but
hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
No, they don't pay for all of the houses, but
just a few.
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Well, I'd work hard too if the whole country paid me. Cynthia, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much for being here on Royal Sussex. Yes, I'd work hard too if the whole country paid me. If they paid me, I'd work hard. So let's talk about this. Golden Globe host Joy Coy, defensive as monologue struggles. I got the gig 10 days ago. The stand-up comic Golden Globe's monologue fell a bit flat as he gently mocked A-listers. Well, you guys, if you think that was bad, think about when Ricky Gervais was there. When Ricky Gervais was there, he really tapped into every bit of the conspiracy theories that you can think of with Hollywood. And I'm not saying that none of it is true. I'm sure some of it is very true. But in that setting, when you have someone go to an award show and tell people that nobody's watching movies anymore, and I should just say congratulations to Netflix and we can all go back home, that was a bit cruel and mean-spirited. You know, it's one thing to say something about people that aren't there, right? But when you're in somebody's face in a room, like for instance, calling out what's her name, Taylor Swift. You know, Taylor Swift has become the lightning rod. Oprah Winfrey has become the lightning rod. Harry and Meghan, they have become the lightning rods. Anyone from pop culture, contemporary, popular culture, and of course, the fact that those are some very popular people. When you are the best in your field, if you are the biggest and the most well-known, then you're going to be targeted. Now, some of the criticisms of Oprah, like when it comes to these, well, I'll just say it, the way she seems to operate, where she's always she and Gail and black men, that seems to really ruffle feathers, and it makes me question things about the two of them. I'll just say that. It makes me question their intent. Now, that's one thing. But on the other hand, Oprah has put a lot of people through college, right? Oprah has done quite a bit of philanthropy. I didn't think it was fair for them to target Oprah for that thing in Hawaii. She's not even the wealthiest billionaire on the island. There are other people that have far more money than she does. But yet she's the one who is supposed to be the one in charge of everything and responsible for everything. And, I thought that was unfair. So there's always that. People are going to, become the face of whatever situation. And far more than often, it is very unfair to that person. You're targeted because it's easy. It's easy because for, this comedian, he didn't really have to come up with anything so intelligent. Now, there's the other part of that is he didn't write all the jokes. Some of the jokes were written for him by the Golden Globes. Just like the jokes that people tell when they're doing their presentation, those jokes are written. The joke that the cast of Suits, that was written for them. It's on the teleprompter. You can see everybody reading from the teleprompter. And even though you get the information in advance, when it's time to be in that room and tell those jokes, they don't come off so easy. But it seems like a necessary thing to keep people amused and whatever. But like I say, Ricky Gervais was just vicious. This guy just was not funny. He wasn't funny. He tells us that the good jokes were the ones he wrote. We'll never know, will we? And it doesn't matter. You still told the jokes. You got the gig 10 days ago. And in 10 days, you've had 10 days to work with them to try to figure out something that would not offend people. But you didn't. You did what you did, and that's what happened. And now you're suffering from the blowback. I honestly thought it was Howie Mandel. I'm just like, oh, that looked like Howie Mandel, but it's not. As a matter of fact, not that it matters, but I think he may be Filipino, perhaps. I've never heard of him before. That was the first I've ever heard of him. Now, apparently, he's supposed to be very talented and very good, and that he was working under the constraints of that role for the Golden Globes. They say it's a tough crowd. Usually people are pretty drunk by the time they take those seats or whatever. That being said, the jokes were not funny. The jokes were not funny. There was nothing clever or interesting or thought-provoking about them. They were just very flat and very silly jokes. I hope they don't ask him back. I don't know who would be good in that role, but it's not him. If he's a nightclub person, then he needs to stay in a nightclub. Now, I heard that the gig pays about $500,000. That's what I heard. I have a friend that's in that comedic community, and I've learned some things about this person I never heard of. Like, for instance, you see that smile? That smile supposedly cost about $120,000 in implants. That's $120,000 smile that he has, right? So I've heard some details about him that I was just like, wow, that's interesting. And not that this was, directly from that person, but that person that I know that is a comedian, was sharing this in mixed company. So it's not a secret, but just so you know a little bit about him. He apparently is pretty well known in the stand-up community, and he's supposed to be a very good comedian. But like I say, I don't know anything about him. And it was just unfortunate that that he was even there. I wish that it was someone else more qualified. He's never done anything as big as this before in his life, and it shows. Lex says women of color or women in general are always the targets of jokes, but people are tired. Is it? No one pointed out that Steven Spielberg also did The Color Purple. Here, 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 here. There was a lot of pushback about the first Color Purple, but it was very short lived, and the movie became a cult classic, a favorite. I don't recall any of the women in my family that saw that movie that came out of there feeling any other way than, oh, did you see when she balled up that fist and such and such? That was the reaction to the movie. Everybody loved it. I'm sure that there's a lot of men who thought that the movie did not represent black men in a favorable way. And for that, you would have thought that having Steven Spielberg make a movie where black men are seen as the, the antagonist, the aggressor, the trying to avoid certain words, but you know what I'm saying, being seen as the mean one, you would think that he would have continued to get more pushback and that people would have always had that same type of energy for him that they seem to have for Oprah and for Tyler and for um, just about any wealthy black person. Even Barry Gordy. Barry Gordy, I remember when he was always given the side eye. Now, some people would say, well, Barry Gordy was doing just like any other record producer or any other record company owner. But that wasn't good enough. People expected better from Barry Gordy. They didn't want him to be like the rest of them. And in some cases, you'll hear people say, hey, Motown was a family. And then other people will say, he ripped them off. He ripped them off. You always hear that. And it seems as though, long as this, someone not from your own community that's ripping you off, then it's okay. It's just a fact. It's just understood. But if it's someone who looks like you and talks like you, then of course everybody's got an end for that person. So I could say just as many good things about Oprah as I could say bad, but I usually avoid the negative stuff because I just feel like we as a community get enough of that. And it was just a real shame that that movie comes out and there's all this controversy about the movie. Now, if anybody saw the Golden Globes yesterday, well, actually saw the interviews. Oh, by the way, thank you so much, Legs, for your insight. If you watched any of those interviews or what have you after the Golden Globes or before the red carpet or whatever, turns out that Oprah said, well, if you ask Taraji, she'll tell you, when I found out about it, I did what I was supposed to do. When she was with Fantasia and a couple of the other people, and Gail, she said, when I found out about the car issue, I called the contact person at the studio. She said, I don't know why my name was in it, because that is the job of the studio, not one of the producers, but the studio. The studio is supposed to handle that. But because it was Oprah, her name was thrown in there. And, it's like I have said about a lot of things, including the Monique situation. If they don't pay people to promote movies and your husband tells you, tell him I said pay you, or tell him to pay you. But if that's not how it's done, then it's a tough argument to make. So you sign for a $50,000 movie. Well, you get paid $50,000 for the movie. The movie goes global, and now you want a bigger cut. So unless you give me more money, then I'm not going to promote the movie. That seems to be outside of the contract. And that was weird to me. That was very weird to me. And just like with Color Purple, there's all these people of color that came together to make a movie, and then there's a big falling out. And I'm not even going to say who's right or who's wrong. I'm just going to say, why don't they have that energy when it's the other people producing these movies? Why do they only have that energy for other Black people? I never see that kind of pushback when it comes to people outside of the Black community. It seems to be reserved for people in the Black community. Am I wrong for pointing that out? But I'm just saying that seems to be the direction of it. So anything that Oprah does, no matter how many Black people she's helped, if the least thing looks suspicious, then someone can go on the internet and make a body language video, or the people on the island that she lives on, they could avoid all the other billionaires. And every time that people talk about the conspiracy, Oprah comes up first. That's what I mean. It just seems really odd to me that no matter what, it's always Oprah first. There's people that got more money, more power, more everything. But Oprah is the target. The host, who is the comedian, the only joke he does is talking about his Asian mother and his either white or Black father. I have no idea. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check him out. I am curious. I'm gonna have to check him out because I'm hearing that he's supposed to be really funny, and I'd like to know exactly, what it is that's supposed to be so good about him. Thank you very much. Mabel Jones says Oprah said that she was not in charge of the money. Oprah spent a lot of her own money to make things right. She gave them very expensive gifts. That is what I heard Oprah say. Oprah said that if the studio can't do it, I will cover it myself. And so, like I say, I don't know how these things are usually done. And I believe when people say that I've done this work and I've never been properly compensated for it. But at the same time, um, you know, aside from, I'm going to say, the big box office people, like the Schwarzeneggers and people like that, Stallone, and even some of the Black actors, like, you know, they the Black men tend to get some pretty good deals, right? But women, Black women, and even white women like Claire Foy, she got paid a fraction of what the guy who played Philip in the first season of Crown, she got a fraction of what he got paid. But I had never heard of her before. Him, I think that he was kind of known in the U.S., not by everybody, of course, but there were people who knew his work. And the same goes for Michael Douglas. He was paid, I think, $14 million for Basic Instinct, and Sharon Stone said she got 500,000. And that doesn't seem fair, but I had never heard of her before that movie. It's not to say that she's not talented or that she doesn't deserve it, but if your box office appeal is of any consequence, I had never heard of her before. So that's my point, is it's not just happening to Black women, it's happening to everybody. And then there is this little thing about, and I've heard, gosh, I guess it was Cat Williams, he said something, and he said that once you get to like $20 million a picture, then all of a sudden there seems to be something that happens that your career is in ruins, and the very next picture, it's almost as though you're starting from day one and you have to try to build your name up again. And I'm like, why does that make sense? Why do I believe that? Even Rob Reiner from All in the Family, I found out Rob Reiner, Carol O'Connor, had to sue Norman Lear because they were not, I think it was a breach of contract, or they felt like they deserved more money, or something like that. But even they had to sue the creator of the show. So I'm just trying to say that I'm sure that nobody gets it worse in Hollywood than Black women. But if you are an actor, they really don't want to pay anybody. They don't have to. If they can get away with not paying people, they will do that. Black, white, or whatever. You have to constantly work if you want to maintain. So that seems to be a theme. So I've been learning a lot and listening to a lot of conversations about the inequity in pay in Hollywood and who it happens to, how it happens, under what circumstances, because I got an open mind about it. And I believe there's a little truth to what everybody is saying. But even people that you wouldn't suspect has a problem with their pay, like Julia Roberts, she has been knocked back down. She was making a pretty decent amount of money. Angelina Jolie, she has been knocked down. They let them get to a certain level and then they pull the rug from up under you. They'll say that you're not bankable, you're not this, you're not that. And then suddenly you're not doing as many movies and you're certainly not making as much money. The men age better in Hollywood than the women do. So it's not just a black and white thing, but when you would think that age discrimination has to do with your actual age and not so much the fact that a studio or a producer is playing on your vulnerability as an older person. So it's an interesting thing. I'm not going to probably do like a whole thing about it, but I'm just talking right now. But it's fascinating, and I've been learning a few things. And um, again, I could think of some things that I have problems with Oprah, but I'm also going to be fair enough to say that for things that she's not responsible for, I hate seeing her dragged like that. Because I'm pretty sure if it wasn't Oprah, whoever the next black woman billionaire, Hollywood mogul, is going to get the exact same treatment where nobody is ever satisfied. So thank you for your comment. Let me see. Mo said she had a back end deal that was not honored. If it was in writing, then it should have been honored. Now, the handshake doesn't count. But if it's in writing, it seems like you could have taken that to court. Monique is good at hitching her wagon to a lot of things. Some things I don't think, is directly again, I'm going to reference Cat Williams. Cat Williams said that was Netflix were paying comedians based on ticket sales, not on resumes, but a ticket sale. And whatever your box office was, they used that as a formula. And because she hadn't been on the road in a while, they didn't feel obliged to pay her for what she said she was worth. Now, I wasn't in the meeting. I don't know what happened, but I've listened to her side of it. And Cat Williams had no vested interest in explaining how they do things at Netflix, but he did, or maybe he does have interest. I don't know, but he explained that, and so there are some people that are going to skate by with making a talking point out of something that doesn't directly affect them. So at the end of the day, you can't make nobody give you anything more than what they're going to give you. It's a tough business. It really is a tough business. And, I really feel for Taraji because she is so incredibly talented. And I would like to see her get her due. But I also heard Monique say, well, Taraji said that nobody had ever paid her like Tyler Perry had paid her. But then Monique said, but my sister, did he pay you what you were worth? Did he pay you what you asked for? And so that's why I say it's never going to be enough for some people. Now, Taraji said what she said, but it seemed like there was more added to it by Monique. So, in other words, okay, he paid you what you asked for, but did he pay you what you were worth? Is that Monique thinking about Taraji, or is she still making the case for herself? You know what I'm saying? That is the question. Is it really about Taraji at that point, or is it about Monique? Is that part of Monique's vendetta against Netflix? Netflix seems to have been paying a lot of comedians, a lot. But for some reason, they did not feel as though she was worth that. And I personally, I never thought she was that funny. I never thought she was that funny. I thought she was loud and vulgar, but I didn't think she was that funny. So I guess I'm not as sympathetic because I was never that big of a fan. She's a great actress, very talented, and deserves an Oscar. But that Oscar doesn't help you in comedy. It's not part of stand-up. Lex says Hilary Swank won an Oscar for Boys Don't Cry. She got peanuts for that movie and had to lose so much weight at the time for that role. Thank you, Legs. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And there has been a few people that have said that, YouTube, they don't want us to talk, and they don't want YouTube shut down one video of mine while it was live. I knew I had done nothing wrong. I did not argue. I didn't do anything. I just said, I think I just entered an appeal. What did I get? A letter of apology from YouTube. Sorry about that. Someone said something that seemed so urgent that they did what they wanted to do at that point to prevent them from having problems. But considering some 1,600 videos by now, 30 million watch hours, right? Oh no, 30 million views. I must be doing something right. And so that never happened again. And I'm sure people have complained, but it never happened again. So I guess what I'm trying to say is YouTube is not after me. I don't feel like I'm being preyed upon by them. But there are some content creators who have said otherwise. And then upon investigation, I kind of found out that, one of them cussed out YouTube and another one had cussed out somebody in the comments. And YouTube was like, you know what? You know what? Okay. When was the last time you heard me cuss anybody out? So that's why I say some of these things are real, some are imagined. Tomorrow they could pull a plug on me for whatever reason. And I just have to live with the consequences of it. And I'm going to always feel like I haven't done anything wrong. But it doesn't mean that I didn't do something wrong. So, but thank you, Legs. Okay, I think we're going to move on to another topic. M. Covington, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here. And I really appreciate you all letting me talk about this because I know it's a bit off the topic, but it was something I was thinking about. But um, yeah, it was just something I was thinking about. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, so happy birthday, Kate Middleton. You know what's been making the rounds today? Something that I didn't know was a thing. It appears that back in 2009, 2 years, well, about a year and maybe 9 months, 9 months before the Cambridges were married, it appears as though Kate Middleton was a bit of a businesswoman, if you will. She was handling her business, her bidness, her bidness. She was handling her business. It says here, he was only too happy to help her and has been instrumental in helping to set up the partnership with Party Pieces. Wink, wink. Uh, Here I go. Maybe tomorrow's the day. In the past, Kate, 27, has been criticized as work shy for her lack of proper career. But a source says she now has an increased role at the Berkshire based family firm. When Kate graduated from St. Andrews University, she didn't really know what she wanted to do, the source went on. She thinks the criticism of her being work shy is unfair, as she was really committed to her marketing role at her parents' firm. She has been taking more of an active part in the business recently using contacts she developed through her relationship with William, and she hopes the relationship with Virgin will help make the company even more successful. Well, that's pretty clever. If you have been someone who has been known in the party scene in, let's say, London, the London party scene, no stranger to pouring yourself in and out of clubs and black cabs, in order to in order to show yourself as being more, shall we say, innocent, maybe it helps to hang around Virgin, right? Any kind of way you can bring that name and your own into a conversation. Maybe that will help distract people from the true state of things. You understand what I'm saying? You want to have a word association, right? Richard Branson, airline. Kate, Virgin. See what I mean? Virgin Airlines. So it's a good word association for somebody who's trying to climb their way up the aristocratic ladder, or actually to climb on that ladder to elevate one's family. It helps to have those associations. So if I was someone who had made a name for myself, then of course I would want to be associated with something positive and pure and innocent, right? Even if only in name. It's very clumsily put, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It's a good word association. Okay, so she's been taking. Oh, okay. Kate is determined to increase the party pieces profile, and thought this would be the perfect partnership. Friends of Kate also say she plans to help restore her family's reputation. After the shocking Uncle Gary revelations about her Uncle Gary Goldsmith, the brother of her mother Carol, the air hostess, Kate's family are trying to distance themselves from Gary. The source added they really hope they can get away from the idea that they are linked to a pharmacist and a someone who's not only the pharmacist, but someone who's been medicated and focus on moving in the right direction. uh, that's what I'm trying to say. So, but that is enough to see them at a party, right? Why don't we do this, huh? Not only were they at the same party, it seems like they left the same party. I'm not sure if they arrived to the same party, but it looks like they left the party. So I guess these meetings took place not only at parties about party pieces, but I guess good finance, high finance, business, and sales and such knows no bounds. But remember, this is 2 years before she married into the firm. Leg says, didn't they meet when she was working on boats? Now, you know, I'm not going to scoff at that because, as they said, the corporate clients loved her, especially the way she always seemed to be showing off her slender legs and tight blue shorts as she served gin and tonics and lunch. She was working as a deckhand on a 72-foot sailboat in the Solent, looking after important clients for mighty companies such as Barclays, BT, Nokia, Toshiba, Volkswagen, and Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Airways, Virgin Trains, Virgins. So, yeah, that makes sense, Legs. Thank you so much for reminding us about that. Now, I got to see what this solent is because I don't know what that is. Now, is that a lake or what is a solent? Let me see here. Solent. The Solent. Oh, okay, I got it. The Solent is a cooperative shallow stretch of tidal water. It has an unusual double tide that is both favorable and hazardous to maritime activities. Oh, okay. Oh, it looks like it's right off of, let me see where this is. Okay, I'm looking at a map right now. So it's on the coast. Okay, lead on Solent. There's also Gosport, Warash, Northwood, Fishbone, all of that. Let me zoom out so I can see where this is. Okay. So it is part of the English Channel, but it's like an inlet area. Southampton is about as far as you can sail into there. So the water is shallow. The Isle of Wight. I'm sorry, the Isle of Wight is in that area. So yeah. So the closest big town is Southampton. Looks like Bournemouth. All right, so it's in that area. So it's in the south of England, and it you could sail right out to the English Channel. Well, that is a very treacherous area, isn't it? Or at least it can be. So that's the Solent. That's a weird name, though, the Solent. Okay. Sorted. All right, so that's it then. Looks like she's been keeping company with Richard Branson, only under the guise of establishing contacts for party pieces. It's not because there was some controlling mother who wanted to make sure that her daughters married into wealthy families or married billionaires. That had nothing to do with it. The fact that Kate is currently married to a billionaire prince, thanks to the Duchy of Cornwall, or the fact that her sister is adjacent to $1 billion, thanks to her husband's family fortune, that is all by chance. I'm sure they would have been just as happy if they had married a garbage collector, a postal worker, or even a doctor. None of that is Are you talking about that Mary Kay beauty consultant outfit that she's wearing? Who's there? This is the Mary Kay beauty consultant. Is the lady of the house home? Avon calling. May I speak to the lady of the house? It does have that energy. It's kind of like an after six real estate broker. Aside from the plunging neckline, and of course, you got to show some knees, but it is ugly. Even for that era, that was ugly. Ooh, that is a dog of an outfit, ain't it? That is a dreadful, dreadful outfit. And just think, 27 years old and dressing like that. 27 years old. If you were doing that in your 20s, imagine without the glam squad what that poor, wretched soul would look like today. Let me see. Didn't the English Rose sell mattresses? Maybe. Again, there has been much projection on the Duchess of Sussex. It seemed as though they were trying to prepare themselves for something. Like something was going, like maybe somebody has something that they have kept to themselves. And instead of, because we always think that there's got to be something about Charles or there's got to be something about William. Well, what if there's something about everybody? Huh? What if there's something about everybody? Harry has told his truths. Meghan, they can't seem to find anything. There's no there. Even after paying out all the money that they have and private investigators, there's no there. They haven't been able to find a thing. So maybe out of everybody in the family, except for, of course, children, maybe Meghan is has the cleanest life, role, slate, whatever. Maybe Meghan has the least controversial past compared to the rest of them people. Apparently, because they obviously got some dirt on the rest of that family. But again, thank you, Lex. And Lorna Williams says Branson allegedly has been connected with that person. Yes, I've seen that name come up, and it even seems as though there has been some home movies that include a president, a corporate leader, and a prince. It seems as though there have been home movies. So thank you. Yes, it appears as though somebody fancies themselves a producer. Anyway, let the good times roll. That is also from that very same party. And I want to say, I think she's dancing with Guy Peller or something like that. Anyway, it's supposed to be somebody, but she's dancing with some younger guy there. And you can tell from those eyes, somebody is having a wang dang doodle, as Coco Taylor, the blues singer, would say. We're going to have a wang dang doodle all night long. Now, let me see. I can't see behind that. Let me see what this says. I mean, it's Kate's birthday, so I just want to do some reflection on Kate, or dragging reflection. I want to drag out some reflections. Kate has had 5 private secretaries in 6 years Yet none of them told her this crap was a bad idea. And then another person went on to say the idea they told Prince Harry he couldn't wear his uniform, this British royal family is lost. If they only knew what the rest of the world thinks of them. So it's a great point. Kate has gone through five, count them, five private secretaries, and none of them wanted to stay around. Yet every time someone leaves Archwell, right, a staff that was in place to help Harry and Meghan, new parents, relocated to the United States, new home. Harry, of course, working several jobs himself, along with being a dad, and Meghan, who has her business interests and being a mom. All of those things are going on. And yet, the staff that they had wasn't supposed to be permanent. Like, for instance, Mandana, whatever her name is, she was only there to operate things while Meghan was on maternity leave, right? While the Sussexes were on maternity leave, rather. So they were not permanent fixtures. And of course, we haven't heard anything negative about the Sussexes and their staff. Not only because there are no leaks in Montecito, but because they are really good, solid people. They are very hardworking. They don't have a team of nannies and chefs and cooks and courtiers and such to do their thinking. They do a lot of things hands-on, more so than anybody else in that family, which is one of the reasons why they're over here and the rest of that lot is over there, because they have a very high work ethic. Lisette, good evening, or good morning, rather. Thank you for being here. So that was always a bad idea. Kate wearing those tights is an abomination. If you're going to do drills with the military, dress up properly for it. Why are you in Lululemon looking for something to wear so that you can go and do maneuvers with some honorary, patronage or whatever they call her role? And that's how you dress for it? Now, I made that point a while ago. I think this was really in bad taste. But as you can see on the right side, they love to wear a lot of costumes. It's not that they are prepared for the work, but they want to look as though they're actually able to do the work. Now, I'm going to give William credit for being a helicopter pilot. Not everybody can do that, right? Harry is a better pilot as he has flown the Apache, but William is still a helicopter pilot. He still has a license to fly a helicopter. And so that took a certain level of aptitude to achieve that. But then again, if you can learn to drive a car, you can fly a helicopter. Some people. It takes a lot of coordination. You're working with those pedals and the yoke and all that. There's a lot to it. You got to do your checks and everything. So I'm going to give him credit for being a pilot. Kate, let me see. Neither one of them speak a second language. Neither one of them seem to know much about history, as evident by the fact that they have been carried by natives. They're riding in the back of a Range Rover dressed like the Queen and Philip. They don't seem to know much about world history or the geopolitical landscape in any way whatsoever. So can't give them any credit for that. They have their vanity college degrees, just enough to get married. And that's it. They have not really progressed very much since college, except for becoming parents, right? And William flying helicopters. Kate, I don't know that she's done anything. aside from waiting for her staff to do stuff. So they have not progressed at all. They're pretty much the same people they were when they left college. When they left college, nothing has changed. The same petty Bettys. Okay, not much has changed. I wonder if I still have that. Here we go. Or is it on the other PC? Is it here or is it on the other PC? Let me see. Do I have that? Oh, man. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the one where Kate is in the army. And I don't think I have that one. No, I do not. Darn it. Actually, I know I have it somewhere. But it may be mislabeled. Okay, so I won't be able to share that one. Is there anything else that I can share? Sure there is. I understand that you have strong opinions about Kate Middleton's fashion choices. Nah. How did I just kick myself out of here? How in the world did I just kick myself out of here? Lord have mercy. Well, at least I recovered fast. I literally kicked myself out of the thing. I hit the wrong arrow. At least I didn't do end stream. Yeah, I arrowed to go back and then that happened. Sorry about that. Oh man, but thanks goodness I recovered fast because I remember before it would have been an all-day ordeal trying to get that thing back right again. Okay, so let's move on. Let us move on. Where did I leave off? Oh, okay, yes, so that's where I left off. So anyway, I have not altered these images in any way whatsoever. I merely wanted to show the complexity of the moods that is Kate Middleton. I wanted to strip away the veneer of all of the trappings of official state duty and show you the essence of Kate, the real Kate, the 42-year-old Kate, the Kate Middleton that met a boy that just happens to be a prince. And I'm sure if Kate was here right now, that she too would understand that people ought to see her for who she really is and not for some ideal or you know what I mean, not some work of an image consultant, but the real Kate Middleton. So that's Kate. Take her or leave her. But yeah, so that's Kate. And this is why I'm going to say happy birthday to you, Kate Middleton, and many happy returns of the day. But yet I'm not done yet. I'm just not done yet. Let me see here. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's too petty. Yeah, that's even too petty for me. How about we just do this one? As you know, from time to time, we reach out to Kensington Palace for comment. And since it's her birthday, I'm going to let Kate do her comment about things so that we can get the, well, anyway.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her. And and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously on to this day, and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
You sure do, girl. You sure do. She does. She do and she does. She does what she do, and she do what she does. All right. Now, one of the hardest things that Kate has ever had to do was when she walked down to the gate of the Windsor Castle, and she and Harry and Will, and of course our Meghan, they walked about, they spoke to people, shook hands, hugged, even delivered flowers to the makeshift memorial at the gate of the Windsor Castle. That's one of the hardest things she's ever had to do. But what comes easy for Kate is supporting her uncle, right? The uncle she would rather have as a neighbor, the uncle that she seems to laugh and lollygag with on state occasions. She made a case for him to stay at Royal Lodge. And of course, now they want to push him out of there, right? So they seem to be very close, the two of them, as demonstrated by some of the photos that are floating around right now that shows exactly how close Kate and Uncle Andy are. Yes, she's very supportive of that sick old man. As a matter of fact, I wonder if she's not the one who told him to. Oh, I know what I meant to tell y'all. Earlier today, why am I whispering? Earlier today, I was watching another channel. Now, it's not a Sussex Squad channel, although they are Sussex friendly. I heard the content creator on that channel singing, "Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes?" Did anybody else hear that person do that? I repeat, I was listening to another content creator, and much to my surprise, they were singing, "Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers?" I'm just asking if anybody knows who I'm speaking of. Go ahead and tell me. I was shocked. I'm like, they watch Royal Sussex. "Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers?" Mr. Peepers. They even referred to someone as Mr. Peepers. And I'm like, this person, this person has been watching Royal Sussex. I mean, I'm flattered, but I'm just surprised. I didn't think that they watched Royal Sussex. But where else would they get that song from? And then also, it didn't even seem like the song really fit the person they were singing about. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't own the rights to that song. And who knows, maybe by chance, spontaneously, we just both happen to sing that same song at different times. But that was interesting. Leg says William wanted to marry Isabella, who is Cressida's sister, who said no. Instead, she married her Sir Branson's son. Oh, Legs is telling some dirt today. And of course, Godzilla Camilla and Kate sold mattresses. Kate served. Oh, really? Now, I saw that, and I didn't believe it, because when I tried to find the actual article, I couldn't. So I saw someone, looks like they made up their own their own thing. If I can't verify it to be true, that's why I didn't bring it up. But I certainly did see it. And I don't know that it's not true. I'm not saying that it's not true. I just could not verify it to my satisfaction. But yes, that is one of the things that people are saying. Yes. It seems as though certain people were social climbing, and social climbing really involves climbing. You have to do some climbing to social climb. Ooh, somebody woke up on the right side of messy today. Okay, let me get this creepy guy off of here. Wait, I haven't told you what the 5 big questions are. So, of course, we can look forward in the coming years to more discussion about the early years, even if it is somebody else's work. We can watch it in real time being plagiarized by somebody who doesn't know much about anything, somebody who's trying to taste who's still trying to smell the taste of smelling things. So, okay. When you wish upon a star, doesn't matter who you are, this man will never get too far, as people say. Nice touch, Stevie Rose. Nice touch. I don't know who this Isabella is. Is her name? You said it was Isabella Brand. Wait a minute. Wanted to marry Isabella, who is Cressida's sister. Is her last name Bona? Whatever. What is her name? Because I want to look her up. Now take a look here. Princess Kate branded as arrogant in furious backlash over royal ops for a helicopter for a 2-hour journey. In comparison, Kate's arrival at the Royal Naval Air Station, what is it, Yale-Vilton something helicopter, via helicopter, which surprised many royal fans. The group Republic, who strongly opposed the royal family, tweeted she, Kate, could have gone by car about 2 hours from Windsor, but instead flies by helicopter for an entirely pointless visit. Huh. Well, there you go. And I want you to notice who reported this. I want you to notice who reported this. GB News, right? GB News. Okay. I guess we're switching over to another topic. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a 3-hour day, I think. Cressida Bona. So her sister is, but her sister is Isabella Calthorpe. Isabella Calthorpe. Oh, okay. Oh, she is pretty. And her face is very symmetrical. Because I think William kind of went the way of a Picasso, but her face is very symmetrical, which is always the hallmark of beauty. So yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Yeah. Big difference. Big difference. Everything is all lined up. And her mouth is not askew. You know, now as I have gotten kind of used to the mouth askew. Yeah. I'm so used to seeing that mouth askew that I almost can't even look at somebody whose dimensions are, you know what I'm saying, proper. So okay, anyway, so I'm done with her. But yeah, so actually I'm not, because I you know what? I'm not. You know what? Okay. Let me get a move on here. I think this slide is in the wrong place. That's what it is. Yeah, no, it's not in the wrong place. Okay, so right here, Patrick J. Adams says he's ready to suit up again for a reboot and weighs in on if he thinks Meghan Markle will join. So the Suit star got candid about the series on the Golden Globes 2024 red carpet. The Suit star, 42, opened up to ET's Rachel Smith doing Variety and ET's Golden Globe 2024 pre-show on Sunday about Suits spinoff he recently learned of, and as he explained, the upcoming project should be including assistance from showrunner Aaron Korsh. We found out about, well, it's not a revival, but a spinoff. I think it's all in early stages, but what did they say? It's a show in the Suits universe, like a Suits LA. Adam explained ahead of the award show. Well, anyway, um, so he went on to joke about, yeah, that he and Rachel go down to Seattle or to LA to straighten out some things. But of course, Meghan is not going back to Suits or anything like that. But they were hounding them all night about Meghan. Meghan, Meghan, Meghan. It was a constant hounding about any information about Meghan. And Meghan should have been here. And what about the Suits? I don't think any logical person expects to see anything of the sort, but it was fun to talk about. And I suppose it was harmless. And I think it's very flattering.
Would you ever team up again?
I think Megan's a fantastic actor, so we'd be lucky to have her back in the industry. Sure.
Most important.
Yes. Let's go. I'll do it again.
Do a spin-off or something?
Yeah, I'm ready. Mike and Rachel in Seattle.
What happened?
Yeah.
But would you ever up again?
I think Megan's a fantastic actor, so we'd be lucky to have her back in the industry. Sure.
Most important.
Yes. Let's go. I'll do it again.
Do a spin-off or something?
Yeah, I'm ready. Mike and Rachel in Seattle.
What happened?
Yeah.
But would you ever team up again?
I think Megan's a fantastic actor, so we'd be lucky to have her back in the industry. Sure.
Most important.
Yes. Let's go. I'll do it again.
Do a spin-off or something?
Yeah, I'm ready. Mike and Rachel in Seattle.
What happened?
Okay. So just wanted you to hear that a couple times. So they were having fun with it and everything. No big deal. But that's it. It was just in jest. There's no plans whatsoever. They got the sound bite that they had been pushing for all night. So I hope that will satisfy everybody involved. So anyway, Patrick and Gabrielle, they had fun last night. The ladies joined them on the stage. Don't forget about us. It was very sweet. It was kind of stiff because they had to read a very lame joke that was provided by the Golden Globes. But otherwise, I think they would have done better if they would have just went up there and done a presentation. I think they put too much emphasis on the jokes when most people just want to see their favorites get their award. Lex says, anyone notice how he shut down the rumor she gave? Yes, absolutely. And also when he was with Gabrielle, he was just like, they don't know anything about it. It's in the early stages. And there's not anything to it right now. They don't know. He even said in another interview, you know about as much as we do, and we don't know anything. So people are talking, and it just makes sense because the popularity that Suits has, as it has been streamed on Netflix, means that yes, the show is finally getting the attention that it deserved the first time around. They are finally getting their flowers. They're getting their due. A wider audience is actually watching Suits, and that's a good thing. I haven't actually watched it yet, but from all accounts, Everybody says the series was great, and that's that. So a whole new generation, I suppose, of people have discovered Suits, and it's good. And of course, anybody with any sense would try to make some money off of that. And the speculation about Meghan, while it is a lot of fun, it's not anything to it. So very cool. Thank you, Lex. And Lex did point out yesterday that they were, saying as much as they could in every way they can to not give them the sound bites for today. And that was the story People Magazine had, is the one I just shared with you. Helene Groen says, I love, love, love that they are also very protective of Meghan. It was really smart of Gina to say, nope, we don't have her number. Yes, I saw that. And of course, the Daily Mail is trying to make it seem like they're trying to spin it like, oh, here's another example of Meghan brushing people off. And sadly, there's a lot of people who will believe that that's what it is. But whatever anybody said, they were going to make something out of it. So there's no one to blame. No one's at fault. If they would have gotten nothing, they would have still made a story out of it. So, but yeah, they were protective and very cautious and careful. And God bless all of the Suits people for having to navigate all of that all night. And there was plenty of it. So they're proud of the work that they've done, and I hope they get all the glory for it. I hope they make lots of money from it. I hope they can employ people by revising it in any way they can. Okay, most popular book checked out that is at the Winnipeg Public Library in 2023. Well, for nonfiction, of course, it is Spare. One book ruled the nonfiction shelves in 2023. Spare, the tell-all book from Prince Harry, was checked out 998 times in 2023, nearly double the second-ranked book. The memoir shared previously unknown stories from Harry during his time with the royal family, including what led to him and wife Meghan Markle ending their royal duties. So Spare 998 times. Wonder how many books they had. A handful of books, 998 times. And I don't know how much time they give you. What is it, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week? I don't know. It's been so long since I checked out a library book, but do they go by how many pages there are? Do they give you time to look up the big words? Because if that's the case, I'm going to need at least 6 weeks. I'm going to need at least 6 weeks so I can look up the words that I don't know. Oh, really? The woman actually admitted that she made up the rumor to try to get some sound bites. Oh. Okay. Yes, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Okay. So take a look here. Oh my goodness. Look at Harry. I just came across this by chance today. Thoroughly charmed, the Queen of Denmark, Prince Harry, made a visit to Denmark. I think it was 2017. And look at him with the Queen of Denmark. What's her name? Marguerite. Look at him with Queen Marguerite. Royal meeting royals, always a fun time. Prince Harry jetted to Denmark Wednesday for a brief 2-day visit, during which he, no shock, turned on the royal charm. In people's words, his trip began with a stop at Copenhagen's Palace of Amalienborg. Is that how you say it? Amalienborg, where he met Queen Marguerite. Oh, how sweet. And notice I had to find that photo of him looking at his grandma. What a charming young man he is. And you can just see the pride and the love on his face. And look at Marguerite. Look at how happy she is. She's just so tickled and charmed. And oh, she just loves Prince Harry. Probably wish he was part of her family. And then, of course, royals meet royals. Oh, I already did that. Marguerite, 77 years old, looked positively enchanted. You hear me? Positively enchanted with the young British royal. And why wouldn't she? We wish we could see the stream of text she surely received after the meeting. What did he whisper to you? Did he say anything about Meghan? Does he smell like fresh cinnamon? The Queen appropriately wore a shade of red themed outfit for the meeting. Harry is planning to meet with a group of young Danes over the next few days, as well as veterans who participated in last month's Invictus game in Toronto. Also on the itinerary, a visit to the regenerated part of the city where he will meet with a group that is aiming to improve society by working with social, cultural, and environmental objectives. On Wednesday night, he will attend a reception at Trevally Garden, hosted by the British ambassador to Denmark. So, the usual royal tour stuff. We'll leave you with this video of Harry animatedly chatting with a group of people while kids play basketball behind them. Unfortunately, I don't have the video, but that was in the article. So that was Harry's visit to Denmark, and people absolutely, I never saw this before. Look at that. He was so charmed and so charming. I mean, when was the last time you saw guys just give guys flowers? But that is how wonderful the visit was. You can see this guy is handing him flowers. Now, if that is any indication of the way they treat people in Denmark, I want to go there. How sweet is that? Very, very sweet. And Harry's looking just as happy and in his element as per usual. And one of the reasons is because he's not back in the UK. He's away from his family, away from the confines of royal life. And here he's his own person, being just as charming and there on his own agenda. And that's the Invictus Games. Oh, look at that. Everybody's just smiling at him. This woman smiled so hard, a couple of her teeth dropped out. You see that? She's smiling so hard, a couple of her teeth dropped out. She lost molars smiling at Harry, which really begs the question, who have I been smiling at? Because she probably got about as many teeth as I do. But anyway, that's not important. That's neither here nor there. We could always buy more teeth, right? But yeah, how sweet. I just love this. I love this for Harry. But in contrast to Harry's great, wonderful, inspiring time, other royals have visited Denmark. But let's look at this one last group shot. There's Harry with the young people. I mean, look at how everybody just, they're like putty in his hands. The children, the kids, the men, the women, the queen, young, old, everybody loves Harry. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen, she even went and got her teeth cleaned for the occasion. You see that? She even went and got her teeth cleaned for the occasion. Happy times. And then there's that pain in the neck pest of a princess, Kate Middleton. Kate got on the Queen's everlasting last nerve. Stand over here. No, stupid. Would you? She just didn't know where to go. She just didn't know where to go. She had to pull her over here, pull her over there. And I saw the video. It seemed like she was walking in front of the Crown Princess Mary. You would think that it would be the Queen, Crown Princess, and then Kate. Kate was walking in front of Crown Princess Mary. I think it was a terrible visit. Harry was just enchanting, whereas this dumbcough couldn't seem to put a foot right. The Queen had to drag her over here, pulling her by her sleeve, getting hair extensions all in her face. It was just a disaster. A disaster. You have Harry that is everything that you would expect from a member of the royal family, much like when he and Meghan went to the Oceania tour. Everybody loved them. They couldn't put a foot wrong. But then you got this knucklehead who don't know where to stand, who don't know how to smile. And then she smiled too much, laughing at nothing. And it was just awful. It was just, I feel so bad. That's probably why the Queen is stepping down. That's probably why she's abdicating, is because she is suffering from PTSD from that visit with Kate. She probably can't sleep. She's probably up all night gnashing her yellow teeth, trying to figure out what happened and reliving the pain of it. It's just a nightmare. And she had all but stopped smoking, but ever since Kate came, she can't even put her skirts on right. She's been chain smoking again. I'm telling you, you really asked for it when you let that dimwit in the house disturbing her peace. I wonder if she thought Harry was coming back. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she thought it was Harry. And of course, when Harry came, you could see for Harry, she wore something, kind of dark. Her skirt is fitting her properly and everything. She just smiling, all of that. But when Kate showed up, and and I'm not making this up, Kate was late. First, Kate was late arriving to Denmark, right? And then the first meeting that she had with the Queen, she was late for that. She was late. She just could not put a foot right. That's right, millionaire. She's suffering from baby brain. Meghan tried to tell her, you just got baby brain. And that's what it is, baby brain. Lights on, nobody home. The elevator's not going to the top floor. So I'm pretty sure that by the time she left, the Queen had to go lay down somewhere. Wouldn't you? All of that shuffling back and forth, and you got to pull her over here and pull her. She probably had to go lay down. She probably stayed in the bed for the rest of the week by the time Kate left. I could hear her now. Is she gone yet? Good. And why was she here? You don't know. And then look at this. Clout chasing. That's what they're doing. They're clout chasing. Ever since they announced that Marguerite was stepping down, they keep talking and comparing and trying to create some false equivalency between the two ladies. Kate merely left Berkshire, Buckleberry, or wherever the heck she was. All she did was, uh, you know, she left her parents' house and went right into William's house. She never really done anything in particular. When she went to school, she had some roommates. That's about as much independence as she had. Whereas Mary left Australia, moved to Denmark, and even learned to speak Danish. And you won't believe this, but they say they have been calling her King Mary because she is a much better communicator than her husband. Her husband is not so good when it comes to talking, they say. I never heard him. But as for Mary, she has so much command of the room. She has so much respect from the people. They love her. They love her. They love the prince too, but they love Mary. Mary is quite popular. Mary can talk, multitask, and she speaks Danish fluently, right? Whereas Kate hasn't even mastered the English language yet. She haven't even mastered English. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if she had to pack up and move and go to another country and make a home for herself, it wouldn't be pretty. It would not be pretty. I'm pretty sure that there would be so much contempt and hostility based on her laziness, her lack of information, no get up and go, privilege, and all them strange clothes that she wears, and then today's a wig, tomorrow's extensions. Just phony. Anyway, happy birthday, Kate. Now, take a look here. When Mary turned 50, she decided to go and get a professional portrait. Beautiful portrait. And I love the very contemporary Art Deco mid-century furniture, whatever that is. Very beautiful picture. Love it. Gorgeous. So lifelike, and yet it does have all of the hallmarks of a painting, and nothing to be embarrassed about. And then there's Kate's portrait at the National Portrait Gallery. Believe it or not, Kate selected this assassin to paint that portrait of her herself. But before you attack him, look at what he had to work with. Just look at what he had to work with. Here's the guy right here. This is when they when they unveiled the portrait, there was a clearly audible gasp in the room. And someone actually even said, "Look at the size of that face on that nose." Would you look at the face on that nose? That was that was one of the reactions from the onlookers. They were aghast. They wasn't sure what to make of it. At first, they thought it was a joke. But no, this is the actual painting. It has not been altered. He's done this very soft brushed look, almost like a haze has drifted over the painting. But that is the way that it's painted. There's nothing that I've done to it. That's the painting. She hand selected this artist. He hand selected this artist herself. She chose him. I think because of her degree in art history, which is why I question the what is it, the validity of her art degree. Did she really earn that degree? Because you would think someone with a degree in art would have found an artist who could convey just the right mood. Huh? Let's see. Marcelina Martinez. Oh, Baron, I love your special birthday tribute to that woman. Cheers from Australia. Well, cheers to you too, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here to help us celebrate. I look forward to doing it again next year. But yeah, you have this elegant, lovely painting from a woman 10 years older than Kate, by the way. And then there's Kate, 10 years her junior. And well below her in terms of, you know, of how she has lived her life. Kate's life has been pretty soft and posh and carefree. Really, is just one black cab to the next, one party to the next. You go to St. Andrews and get a degree in art history, and yet when it came time for someone to paint your portrait, it seems like it's somebody who had it in for. Does Uncle Gary owe the artist any money? I mean, did he invest in party pieces? What happened in that relationship between artist and subject? um, does he have a problem with his vision, a stigma, something like that? I mean, something has gone terribly wrong. Well, I'm going to give you an update on this painting. It was quietly and without ceremony discreetly removed from public viewing and put into storage where it belongs. Yeah. But you know what? He managed to get her hair extensions, right? Yeah. I think he caught the essence of her. Maybe she just couldn't smile for the hours that it took to paint that painting. Because that seems to help out a lot is when she smiles. When she smiles, you almost can't tell that stuff don't line up properly. So, but yeah, so that's the artist that she selected herself to paint her painting, which has been hidden from view at the National Portrait Gallery. They don't want anybody to see that ever again. And so don't expect to see the BBC do a documentary about it because they already got Will and Kate mad at them, so they ain't likely to do that. But I tell you, that is some look. It's something ghostly about it, isn't it? Yeah, there's something rather frightening about it. And every time I look at it, I tell you, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I always think of the portrait of Dorian Gray. I do. I look at it, I'm like, Dorian? Yeah, it reminds me of that movie, The Portrait of Dorian Gray. Who you gonna call? Have you seen that video where you look at it and then all of a sudden it goes, yeah, it screams at you and makes that scary face? That's why I'm kind of looking off to the side because I'm scared if I look at it long enough that it's going to do something scary. Wait, what was that movie where that girl was coming out of the TV? I feel like Carol Ann on Poltergeist. They're here. You all, we better stop because if you've seen that movie Poltergeist, The Ring, that's it. It kind of reminds me of The Ring. Thank you, Legs. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of The Ring, but then also I'm getting that vibe from Poltergeist. They're here. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Look who's 40, 40, 42. So anyway, that's the artist. I guess he's folded his arms because whoever paid him off, whoever paid him off, Camilla. Oh, excuse me. Whoever whoever stuffed his pockets with money. Camilla. Yeah. Whoever paid him, I guess their work is done now. So his arms are real tired from all them brush strokes trying to fix something that wasn't right to begin with. Lisette, Zog, thank you so much for the super chat. Cheers to you, Baron from Austria. Oh, yes, Austria. 42 never looked older. Lisette, were you always in Austria? I guess you were. We talked about that before, right? Okay, well, thank you. And by the way, you guys, Austria has an incredible high standard of living for most people there. It's very clean, it's very safe. Vienna is beautiful. And I insist that if you are going to the continent, that you consider going there because you won't be sorry. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. And one of my favorites, is it the French Embassy? Is that the French Embassy? That building that's got that like gold globe on top of it. Let me see. I'm going to take a look. French Embassy, Austria. Oh, no. That's not the one I'm thinking about. Okay, I see the embassy, but there was something else. I thought it was the embassy, but it's not. Or what was that place? It's a building in Vienna. Let me see. Wien. That's how you say it in German. Wien. You got to see this. Okay. Ah, that's not it. That's not it. I'm looking at something and that's not it. That is going to really drive me crazy till I figure out what it is. It looks like leaves or something, but I know it's in Vienna. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I'm going to show you. It's a gold leaf dome. And just think, I saw this back in 2009, and I can see it in my mind's eye like I just saw it. Okay. I'm going to show you guys. Give me a second. I'm going to share it. You got to see this. I'm looking for a better version of it, but it's so beautiful. So beautiful. The architecture in Vienna is breathtaking, just breathtaking. And I had always wanted to go there, and that is why I went, because I wanted to see some of those places up close and in person. Oh, let me see here. Oh, okay. The Secessions building is an exhibition hall in Vienna. It was completed in 1898. Okay, it does kind of give you the Art Nouveau. Joseph Maria Ulbrich as an architect. Okay. The Secessions building. Okay. All right, so let me find a better version of it, and I will share it with you guys. That photo was not so great. Veen. Okay. Now, it's not a very large building, but the gold and everything is really beautiful. So let me. I don't know why I thought that was the French embassy. Okay, so I just need to brighten this up a little bit. Looked like it was an overcast day. Oh, that's not a good photo. Let me see here. Oh, no wonder. Okay, got it. Don't you love the way I just stopped doing what I'm doing? And I'm just like, oh, let me show you this. uh, but you know, I like to share beautiful things. So, okay. So I got that done. Then I do that. Come back over here. Do that. And oh, here's that picture of Aretha from yesterday. Let me get that off of here. Lord, lift us up where we belong. Lydia loves that photo. Lord, lift us up where we belong. Isn't that beautiful? It's got this big globe of gold leaves on top. And then, oh, by the way, thank you so much again, Lisette. And then you can see it's not a very big building. And I think it was like they said, an exposition hall of some sort. Oh, wait, didn't mean to do that. I was trying to do that. And see the entrance and everything. I didn't go inside of it, but yeah, that was it. I love that. It's very Art Nouveau. It has all those little organic details. You see that? Who dreams up something like that? All it takes is money, and imagination. Very, very pretty. Okay. All right, so let us continue. I think I'm almost done. Good Lord, you guys, this is 3 hours. What have I been talking about? Okay, so there, I'm just about done, you guys. You have the British media and you have the Danish media. The British, well, actually, Kensington Palace was trying to bully the Danish media. Don't ask any questions, don't do this, don't do that. And so I won't say that they were trying to get even, but notice on the left, you can see that the British media was using their filters and their Photoshop. But Denmark was like, no bueno, no bueno. They were like, Number one, you were late getting here. Number two, you were late seeing the Queen. Number three, you couldn't seem to figure out where to stand. You walked in front of Crown Princess Mary. No filter for you. No filter for you. Oh, thank you, M. Covington. Let me see. Anybody see the comedy The Man with Two Brains featuring Steve Martin? The portrait in the film starts shaking, trembling, yelling, and cracking the wall of the entire house. Probably happened with Kate, too. Well, like I said, they had to finally take it down at the National Portrait Gallery. Who knows how much damage it caused? Oh, that was it. That was the end. Oh, thank goodness. I am done, you guys. I was getting kind of nervous. I'm like, how many more slides is it? Anyway, when you see our queens, then you know it is time to go. So that is our Queen Doria and our Queen Diana, our Queen of Hearts, and our Queen of just about everything, the rock of the Sussex family. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic week. And for those of you guys that are in the path of this snowstorm, please be safe. I hope that you will, or you have already gotten everything that you needed to ride through this storm. Now, I haven't looked out the window lately, so I don't know what's going on here. But I already went to the store, and I promise you it looked like it was Christmas Eve. There were so many people in there. But I got plenty water to last a few days, bread and other essentials, orange juice, just stuff that I need. And also, let me see. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a very safe space. Oh, you know what I did? I'll tell you what I cooked. You know how they have those the chicken breasts wrapped in bacon, stuffed chicken breasts of some sort. Well, anyway, it takes an hour to cook it at 400 degrees. So I just wrapped it up in some foil, and I'm sure it's fine. And I was thinking to actually slice it to make a sandwich with it. I actually want to make a sandwich with it because I got some delicious sourdough bread. So I'm going to slice it to make sandwiches, and with some bacon, chicken breasts, and avocado, and just a little of that Chick-fil-A sauce. Mom, it's delicious. And I think that's going to make a good meal. And as for the sweet potato, it's a big sweet potato, so I'll probably eat on that 2 or 3 times. And because I was baking that chicken breast wrapped in bacon, I thought it was probably a good idea to throw that sweet potato in there because they take so long to cook. And, I don't have to eat it hot out the oven. I could reheat it or whatever the next couple days. So, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why I only cooked one. I should have put 2 sweet potatoes in there. But so yeah, I'll have that already cooked. So that's what I cooked. And it takes so long to cook. I'm always like, I don't feel like waiting. But I figured it'd be a good idea to put it on before I start working. And before I go live, because I've been working most of the day. But before I go live, and that way I'll have it to make sandwiches with. So that's that. But I bet you it's probably still hot because I just wrapped it in the foil and let it cool like that. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. And our last word of the day is oh, I know. Never piss off the artist. That's the word of the day. Don't piss off the artist. If your Uncle Gary owes the artist money, pay him. Yeah, that's our word for today. Don't go into debt with the artist. They'll mess you up. But strangely enough, they said that 2012 painting, can you believe that was 2012? That 2012 painting, they said Kate really liked it, that she was, how did she describe it? I forgot how she described it, but she was being very positive about it. She didn't do like most people would do, break into tears and start shaking and running through the house like Martin. Remember when Martin Lawrence did Kill My Mama's Bird? Remember Kill My Mama Bird? You killed my mama bird. You killed my mama bird. I would have ran through the house like Martin Lawrence. Gina, that was Gina's mother. And Gina's like, what? You killed my mama bird. Yep, I would have been running through the house like Gina's mother. No, that was Martin's mother. I'm sorry, that was Martin's mother. Yeah, it was Martin's mother, and Gina was supposed to watch the bird. Yes, that was, to me, that was the funniest Martin, was Kill My Mama Bird. That was the funniest one to me. uh, okay. Have we been haunted enough? Should I take it away? All right. Oh, she waited till she got back to KP, Kensington Palace. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I'm pretty sure she was speechless. I'm pretty sure she was speechless, although nobody would notice because, after all, she is a mute woman. Yeah, anybody with a proper degree in art would have never sat idly by and looked at something like that or even have chosen that artist. But, you know, the artist did what he could with what he had to work with. Okay, so I'm going to cue the Ginger Avenger some 3 hours later. But thank you so much, everyone, and did not mean to go on this long. Oh, by the way, I did see what you all were talking about yesterday when she gave her acceptance speech and it looked like she was coming out of that dress. I was wondering why I heard people saying, please pull that dress up, pull that dress up. Now I know why. I mean, to tell you, I don't know if I was old enough to see what I was looking at. I don't think I was old enough. You know, I mean, in a few years, I'll be retiring. But I don't think I was old enough to see that. I was like, geez, Louise. I felt like I was in the poultry section of the supermarket or something. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in. But then again, it was a lot to hold up. Well, you know what? I hope somebody have a conversation with her. You know, you don't want anybody from the Golden Globes to say anything. But the next award show that she goes to, you know, nobody can say anything because, you know, given the age that we're in now, you can't really say stuff. But somebody, some matriarch in her family, whether it's her aunt or whoever, one of the, you know, matriarchs in her family, or the matriarch, if you will, somebody need to talk to her because that's not polite. That was not pleasant to look at. That was not pleasant. It causes anxiety. That's what happens, is it causes anxiety. Just like Aretha Franklin used to cause anxiety, because I don't know how many times I've watched Aretha Franklin and I thought she was about to, you know, something was about to happen. And I found myself unable to enjoy the music. That's why when I looked at her, I'm like, she going through all that trouble. Can't nobody hear a word you saying. We are too busy looking at that thing about to happen. So she just needs to wear something that's not so confining. Not only, and it's a beautiful dress. It's a beautiful dress. And she's a beautiful girl. But she looks stuffed. She looks stuffed, like like she was jammed into that thing. And that's just not a good look. I'm sorry, but it's not a good look. I told you when I looked at it yesterday, I felt like I couldn't catch my breath. I felt like I couldn't catch my breath. I was like, so they just need to not do that. Yeah, you know, we were starting to get to the part where you could see blemishes and stuff. I mean, there's probably some powder or some makeup on that part, but we were getting to the part where there was no powder or makeup or whatever. You know what I mean? We were getting to the part that was covered. Some of the covered part was being uncovered and not in a nice way. Uh-huh. It was a little bit too much. It was too much. You're right, Marshall. It was a lot. Anyway, I'm glad that ain't my mama. I'd be so embarrassed if that was my mama on TV. With all that happening. I get wanting to be glamorous. I get all of that stuff. But right. Right. Uh-huh. That's what I'm saying. I saw speckles and freckles and hair follicles. You know, some of that was hair follicles. Little minute hair follicles that seem to, yeah. I'm seeing what I thought might be hair follicles. They had that kind of raised texture like hair follicles. And I was appalled. I was outraged. I was shocked. Yeah, I was like, I gotta turn my head. I can't look at this because this is about to get outrageous. It seemed like it was a taller person and a big giant hand just went smash and just, you know what I'm saying? Looked like something got smashed. Like somebody took a tall woman and smashed her into that. I mean, I know I'm being silly, but that's what it looks like. It looks like squish. Like somebody just squished the person, took a whole person and just squish. Yeah, it's okay. What's up there at the top is not that big, right? It's not that big, but it's being pushed up and pushed out. And the way it's being pushed out, it was about to pop out, right? If she would have sneezed, I'm telling you, if she would have sneezed, everything would have came out. Everything from the cup up would have been out. One sneeze and all would have been revealed. God's child, happy new year, Baron, and all. Happy belated birthday to me. Keep up the good work. Love you loads. Oh, thank you so much, God's child. And thank you for being a member. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy belated birthday. Many happy returns of the day, and so on. And I hope you have a great, fantastic, productive, loving, joyous year for 2024. So thank you very much. Wow. Anyway, I can't stop looking at it. It's almost hypnotic. I find myself just staring. You know what I mean? It's just about hypnotic. It really is. Seems like it hurts. Yeah. Looks painful. I mean, did she sit down or did she just stand up all the way to the place? Or did they just lay her down and didn't, you know what I mean? Then just kind of hoisted her back up. But that just seems so tight and uncomfortable and confining. But if she's comfortable, then I'm happy for her. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean, where you get a little bit too much. I guess you couldn't call it cleavage back there, but because it's coming from under instead of, I know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. And no shame. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your body and wanting to show off and everything like that. But I wouldn't care who was wearing it. It's just too much. It's just too much. Looking uncomfortable is one thing, but she was about to pop out of that thing. She was literally about to pop out. And that takes on a whole nother thing when you about to pop out your outfit. Oh, you're right. You're right. Let's do that. Let's do that so we can get out of here. Yes, this ought to remove that from your consciousness. So let me give you the horn of Camilla. There we go. There, that ought to jar you back into reality. Okay, love you guys. See you tomorrow. Cue the Ginger Avenger and good night. Did you all see the Cat Williams video? I'm telling you, I can't stop thinking about it. I watched it all, 3 hours of it. And it was very interesting. Well, I did mention earlier that he said some stuff that got me thinking. But if you haven't seen it on Club Shay Shay, they have the shorter versions of it, but the one that's like 2 hours and however minutes long, almost 3 hours long, that's the one you want to see. It was very interesting. Very, very interesting. So if you get a chance to watch it, and mind you, I don't know Cat Williams. I saw him in passing, but didn't ever hear him talk before. But he said some interesting things. And, take it all with a grain of salt. I'm a huge fan for conspiracy theories. I don't always believe them, but I enjoy them. So if you like conspiracies about Hollywood and all that kind of stuff, and, for some people, him talking about certain people was a bit too much, right? But because I don't really care for most of those people anyway, I rather enjoy it. I rather enjoyed it, especially a couple of them. I was just like, F them. But yeah, because I didn't really have any emotional connection to any of them, I was rather amused by it all. But like, oh, you know what? Was that muted all that time? I'm just sitting up here talking. Oh no, it wasn't muted the whole time, was it? I don't know how I did that. When I moved my microphone, it mutes. That's what happened. When I move my microphone, it mutes. I got to remember that. Yes, over 30 million views. Over 30 million views. The Curse of the Foghorn, Camilla finally got. All right. Okay. Good night. Good night. Good night. Love you.